We are live. What's up, everybody? Just waiting for... Alright. That is up and going. Chat is up. Alright. So, crazy ass Monday today. Said it was going to be a weird week, and so far it's proven to be a weird week. We started with a flush, and then things just kind of went back up. I'm going to start with the S&P. Talk about what happened today. I mean, look, is the scenarios we put out yesterday. It was like if it's going to stay bullish, it needs to hold and get that rip, and that's what we're seeing right now. And the other option was it breaks down, gets acceptance back below range, and then makes its way down. So it's choosing up. We are creating new highs on the 1 hour right here. I mean, the 4 hour. So, like, realistically, this is support now. So 71.78 now is support. So we'll see if this continues to go, man. Who knows? Everything else is going to probably run with it. I'm going to go look at the Qs real quick. Qs are looking... So initially we started out trading this morning in the group, right? Over in a Discord, over at tacticalhedgetraders.com. This was a play we were looking at. Someone was short, and it was a great play, and then it's just suddenly just got this reversal. And it was a fake out of like this low here. They went and swept the liquidity, little head and shoulders pattern, and it played out. Like, realistically, it played out, but just not in full. And then it ran up. So it's at a crucial high. If you trade the Qs, I would say you need to be focusing on this high right now that you're at, where this wick's at. But I would say you're coming up on resistance, man. And if it's gonna follow in the SPY's shoes, it's probably gonna end up breaking this thing. So it's still up for the Qs. But I will say this on the higher time frames, it's starting to look a little overcooked. At some point, this is going to come to an end. Whatever this little burst is, I don't know. This is like so crazy. Who would have expected like this face melting rally in the middle of April? Feel bad for people invested in Poet. Yeah, right. Oh, that's. What's the Russell look like? I don't know. Let's go look at it. What's a good ticker for the Russell? You like the ETF or just look at just straight up Russell? Is there a better futures? I mean, Russell looks like just like the Qs, dude. I mean, look at that on the daily, man. The thing looks strong. It looks strong. Take the previous high is now support, right? You see that right there where we came and back tested it? That's showing strength, man. That shows they want to go higher with it. I would say same scenario here with the Russell, though, right? Take a trend, run it up. This is the monthly trend. You're just pretty much, you want to stay above that, and you want to stay above that previous high. You break back below that, it could get bearish, but internally here on the 4 hour, man, it looks like it's gearing up for a move. Because if I was just watching this looks like a breakout, a breakout of a trend or like a flag, an internal flag. See that? So it looks like it's going to come for this high here. So I'll be watching this in the coming days. See what happens at 28.18, and it might continue. Maybe it'll break out. I mean, it's following. Look, if SPY's break it out now, like it's gonna eventually roll downhill, and you'll see some small caps start to run. I mean, we're starting to see Bitcoin, and we already saw Bitcoin running, so that's like kind of in the small cap area. Bitcoin, little update on it. It's still in an uptrend, guys. It came back down, tested this trend, and we got a daily close above it. So I'm convinced right now, until this trend actually closes below, we close below this trend, we're still up for now. And it's banging its head up against this 79.3. So if it holds here, this could be the launch point for a nice move up. Maybe to tap that 80, even up to 86. Now what I'm seeing here, I'm actually long, and there's two reasons I'm long. One, we hit that trend. Two, we swept liquidity. We swept this low back here. Swept the entire range from the weekend, and we took out the liquidity from Thursday on that low. So I mean, it's naturally a place to take a long. You know, it's a higher time frame low. So obviously it's a daily low from last week. It's the range low. So I'm long. As long as we can stay above this trend, I'm going to stay long. If it starts to break back below trend, I might, I might move my stop to break even. But yeah, that's Bitcoin. I think everything can't write anything off just yet is what I'm saying. So we'll go look at some Nvidia. Nvidia's just going up, guys. It broke its previous all-time high. It's a market leader too, so like when you start to see things like this happen, like it's telling you which direction the market's going. So I wouldn't fade the trend just yet. I am still looking for shorts higher up, but I'm not shorting yet, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. And you got this like trend from the beginning of April, and Nvidia's staying way above it. So hey, Nvidia keeps going up, you're going to start seeing SPY and Qs go up and stuff like that because it's got trillions of dollars in it. So, yeah. Right, Tic Tac? Analysis on CAR. I'll go look at CAR in a second. And then I'll go look at EOS. What's up, TA Guru? Ooh, yeah, what's going on, man? Hemneth. I'm going to eventually say your name right. 1 second, guys. Oil. We'll talk about oil real quick. Oil looks like it's getting poised for a breakout, guys. And then I'm going to go look at the rest of the stuff. So oil is coming up on a high right here. If it breaks this high, it's going to run. I'm like in a weird, like, look, this could still be, it's still in lower high territory, but we got to watch this 98.5. So I'm going to be watching that going into tonight, into tomorrow. See what happens during the Asia markets, and maybe when we wake up during, that London-New York crossover to see how oil reacts. We're going in FOMC, so who knows? I think we're going to get some reactions this week. Gold consolidating. If gold starts to break this high here at 47.35, I might look for a long. That'll be a 4-hour market structure shift for me. So I'm looking for gold to get back above this level here. Around 47.30, 47.20-ish. So this high here. If I see a gold do that, I'm short-term bullish. If it starts to lose this low at 46.64, I'm going to probably start looking for shorts. So, anyway, let's go look at CAR. Oh, man. Sorry. That's like real-time reaction for you guys. I said a while back, I'm like, fast up, fast down, guys. If it gets acceptance back down here, it's coming down hard, and it's fucking down here, man. There was like one area I was like, maybe we'll get a little bit of a bounce around here, 333. Otherwise, we're coming back down to this low. Realistically, we could come all the way back down to 100. This was a short squeeze beyond short squeeze, and this was a manipulated pump. So, see that kind of wick right there? It's not bueno. So I'll be looking for, look, I would say if you're going to like look for levels, well, you've already broken down below one. So this was the first level I was looking at, 215. You can see we didn't really get too much of a reaction there. We just kind of busted straight through that. I guess the next level I'd be watching is down here. Like right here. 144, 150. Previous range, right? This is where we chopped around for a bit before it broke down. So maybe it comes back into the zone here. Maybe we catch a little bit of support. Otherwise, it's coming down to take the lows out. Like that's your next target. If this level doesn't hold, this is where you're headed. So let's hope that doesn't happen. But maybe it could put it in a higher low. That was a big move up. So maybe there'll be a little pity rally coming in soon. We'll see. You're sick of your 9 to 5, Steve B? Yeah, man. If you want to learn trading, dude, go over to tacticalhedgetraders.com. We got free courses. We'll teach you from A to Z how to trade. And then you can join the Discord from there. It's a big button that says join Discord. And we're just a trading community, man. A bunch of people with the same mindset. Just what you just said. A lot of people striving to get rid of their 9 to 5 eventually through trading. Some people who are already there. Some people who are just beginning. Some people on their way, all levels. So check us out, tacticalhedgetraders.com. Also, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow. Helps out the channel, and you'll get notifications when we go live 6 days a week. Ben didn't have his morning show today. He has some plumbing issues in his house. I don't really want to talk about it too much and put him out there, but he wasn't happy this morning. So I don't know if he'll be live tomorrow, but if he isn't, I'll be live tomorrow night. So stay tuned. But anyway, let's get on with this stream. AMD. Oh, I got to go look at something else. EOSE. What was that? EOSE. So that's car, man. Car, not really much you could say about that one. All right. So look, we're entering a gap right now. So this is the low volume gap that we said, hey, the first pass up here, we may get a rejection. And it looks like we're kind of getting initial rejection. We're not getting accepted into the gap. So I would expect a little bit of a pullback here. And then the next time we push back in, we might actually get the breakthrough into the gap. Your first level of resistance, really, to be honest with you, is up here. If you gain acceptance into this gap, you're shooting up to $10. Higher time frame, I don't even know why I had that line there, if I'm being honest with you. But I would say, yeah, I'd say if you gain acceptance in here, expect to get up to $10. But right now you're getting an initial pullback, which is kind of what we talked about. This is how these gaps tend to play out. They act as resistance and traps for longers, like people breakout traders. So it wouldn't be crazy if we got a little bit of a pullback here. And you're starting to see bearish divergence on the 4 hour pushing into this. Yeah, I would not be surprised if we come maybe test these lows here at 678, potentially sweep one more time, or potentially go a little bit lower before they try it again. So, yeah, those are your levels right now, man. This is resistance. This 750 up to like $8. That's like your gateway. If you can break past that, you can get up to $10. And then like your support right now sits at that 675. That's your most immediate support. And then you got a little bit more support down here around 544. If it really wants to really dip down, that could be an area. So just some levels to watch. They're both cancer stocks. Yeah, I don't really know much about them. Just like taking caller requests over here, guys. So LAC is getting out of penny stock land. I'm not looking at no penny stocks, bro. I'll go look at some Tesla, though. All right, hold on one second. So Tesla, it's like right there, man. It's fighting. So see this level right here? This is the old range. And it has to get back about 384 to even have a shot of getting a nice pump up, right? And it's fighting, man. It lost that trend. It lost that level, but it's there. It's like holding on. If this is just a deviation and then and Tesla can reclaim this 384, right? There's a nice move up to like 417 to the top of this range, and you might go higher. You might even come up here and take out these highs. That's a good target up there if you can get back into this range. It all starts there, but if you get rejected here and you can't get back above, guess what? That's your target, 326. You start with these lows here, but that was the real target that we front ran back, way back here. Because look, that's where all the liquidity is. It's here or it's here. It's above us or below us, so it has to pick a direction to go grab new liquidity. So those are your levels on Tesla. AMD. Okay. We got a little pullback here. Maybe they're coming back for the gap. They took some of it. They didn't take all of it, though. So we got this gap that they put in over the weekend. And you see how we're finding support on that gap, right? So if it gains acceptance back below, I'd say to this low right here, 329, there could be a nice little move back down to like 308, a little bit of a pullback. Does it go further than that? I don't really know because this thing's been straight up. So I don't want to sit there and say it doesn't look like it's reversing just yet. It's still early, but look, we got this trend right here. We got this gap. So if this thing did pull back into this area, right, I wouldn't be upset with that. That wouldn't be a bad place to look for a bounce or a decision, because if this starts to, you start to slip this trend, which we've been running all of April, guess what? That's your cue to look to exit if you're long, or start looking for shorts, because this right here is all coming back at some point. It's all built up liquidity. So once this trend cracks, they're going to take this back. So those are your levels on AMD. I would watch the highs as well, 355. But yeah, right now it's just consolidating. It's picking a direction. Well, does it want to continue down or does it want to bounce here? Yeah, no problem, Gina. Can the volume be increased? I can try to increase it. Let me see. I turned it up a little bit. Let me see if I can change it on my computer real quick. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to do this over here. Two seconds, guys. I'm trying to just see if I can adjust the microphone a little bit. Somebody's saying it's a little low. Okay. I turned it up a little bit. Hopefully that helps. Anyways. Oh, why is the volume so loud? Dude, shut up, Caden. I'm going to kick your ass, bro. Fucking Caden, go kill yourself. Caden, what are you trading over there, dude? I know you're trading some shit. Volume's good now. Thanks, Island. Tell that TRDRKCL, whatever the hell he's talking about over there. Tell him he's full of it. Yo, I'm 14. I'm trying to start on stocks. Should I go with Robinhood or Cash App? First off, I don't even know if you can trade on Cash App. Okay. So I don't know if you can actually trade on Cash App, if I'm being honest. So I'm not going to say anything about Cash App. I guess Robinhood's a good beginner place for investors. I don't know if you will want to trade there necessarily. It's probably a better place to invest. But if you're a beginner, man, learn how to trade first, dude. Go over to tacticaledgetraders.com and go over to tacticaledgetraders.com. Check us out. We got free courses over there, and we have a free Discord you can join with other traders. You can ask questions, learn from others. We got a lot of information in there, too. We have a learning library, a bunch of places a bunch of resources. You know what I mean? So check us out. NQ, check out their website. Okay, that's Kush. Whose website, bro? Yeah, I don't know. I never knew. Maybe you can trade on Cash App. Robinhood, all right, a little glitchy on the slippage. Yeah, you might be right about that. Like, it's not the place to want to trade. If you're just investing, you don't really care about a little bit of slippage. If you're trading, yeah, slippage is a big deal. So you want to get a real broker, or like go to a good futures platform. Let me go look at LAC. Someone asked for that. Hey, this thing's just breaking out, dude. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it wants to take out this high here around, I would say 540. So I think this is where you're headed. And if you break this, man, there's a nice gap up to the $6 region. So for now, I would say this thing's poised up. It's got a nice flag going. Just got to break this high at 545. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, dude, this is a nice little higher time frames. You're looking at this thing. This thing looks primed and ready to go. Like it wants to come tack some of these highs. So let's see if it does it. If it breaks this weekly high, dude, this thing's on. I'd say 690 could be a good target. Thanks, Kush. I looked at Nvidia earlier. I said Nvidia's up, man. Nvidia's up till it's not. You got support at 211, and you have this trend line that we've been holding for the month. So those are your two levels. I'm not really going to go over it too much more. I talked about it a little bit earlier in the stream. I want to try to get to some new stuff. VST. Sure, let's go look at that. I'll be honest with you, dude. This thing looks like it's primed. It looks like it wants to make a move. So here's what you're looking for on this thing. So you see this low here? That's a weekly low. You have a weekly high, and you have a higher low forming here. So the idea is that this is the big high you got to break. So this level around 178, right? 178. If you take out that weekly high, you have a very good shot of coming back up towards the highs, which is around 220. So it's like, take this out and you may have a shot up here. You're looking at, that's weekly market structure right there. It's a big level, so it has to break it. If it's going to go up there, it's got to get through. Otherwise, it could be a nice rejection and a push back down. But yeah, it looks good on the week, on the daily too. You know, that's the big level, man. I would say your support right now sits around this low that we just formed around 154. And you got a little bit of like, just a little bit of an uptrend starting to form here. So you could just monitor like this little uptrend that's starting to like kind of make its way up. You see what I mean? So if it's a bear flag, it's going to break down and lose this trend. And that's probably when you want to like, you know, abandon ship on this bad boy. And when it takes out this low at 154. Otherwise, I'm looking up towards 178 for this thing. And if it breaks that, man, it's got a lot of potential. So those are your levels on Vistra Corp. Also, my BTC long is crushing it right now, Caden. I hope you're listening. I posted this one in the Discord, by the way, guys. It was like a couple hours ago. We're sitting down here. I was like, could be a bounce coming here, guys. It's bounced. Look, my ultimate plan is this. I'm looking for a short there, but in the meantime, there are some plays you can catch. You can catch these nice little long bounces. So it's the beauty of trading, man. You can have a bearish sentiment, but still take a long for a day trade. It's great. Upside, yeah, no problem, Ticos. Archrock? What's Archrock? What's the ticker for that? Yeah, that SFP was nice, wasn't it? Yeah, dude, I spotted that too. I was like, oh, I need to take this thing. It had confluence, man. This is the monthly trend. If you're not tracking this trend on like everything in the markets, stocks, crypto, commodities, like there's a monthly trend that's been started. It started in April, and if you're not tracking that, you're missing the big picture. So as long as this thing is above, it's gonna go up, and that's just everything. You know, we're in an uptrend for now. I'm not saying we're in a bull market, but we did break new highs. We'll see. Apple. I want to talk about Apple real quick. So I'm still waiting for Apple to do a couple things here. So we left behind this gap, right? See this gap right here? It's filled some of it, but it hasn't filled all of it. 269 is the high, about up to 270, right? So I'm looking for it to come up here and maybe put in a lower high. If it's going to break out, it's going to do it on this next bounce, right? That's the way I feel. I'm about to sneeze, guys, and I hope I don't, because I don't want to blow the mic out and like everybody's eardrums. But Apple did have a sweep of this low right here. You ever get that feeling like you're going to sneeze? I'm trying to like twitch, look at lights, and just think about other things. So yeah, this low it swept. So if it does make its way up here and fills this gap and continues up, if it takes out this high and starts to break up, I'm abandoning ship on my short idea. But if it gets up here and anywhere up in this area and rejects, I'm looking for a short. Simple. This wick right now is my invalidation point. Anything higher than this wick and my trade's invalidated. So, but yeah, that's my Apple play. Yeah, dude, if it gaps up and then comes back down like a big like blow off top, there's still short potential there. But yeah, it's going into earnings, man. You got to watch Apple. This Thursday we have Apple. I think we have something big on Wednesday. Is it Nvidia? Let me see. Is Nvidia Wednesday? Yep. And well, no, Nvidia's not till next month. What's? Someone help me out here. Amazon. There's a couple big. There's like 3 or 4 from the Mag 7 that have earnings this week. One of the big ones is on Wednesday, and we were looking at it the other day. Was it Tesla? I don't think it was. Nah, it wasn't Tesla. Tesla just had their earnings. Anyways, whatever. Let me go look at Amazon. Maybe you're right. It probably is Amazon. Ah, you are right. Amazon is one of them too. Amazon's pushing up into its earnings. This is a big one we were talking about too, because it's taking out that high. And if it keeps pushing up, if it gets any acceptance back below like 259, I'm looking for a short back down. But above this, man, I'm not touching it. You know, I'm not longing, I'm not shorting above the highs. Just going to watch it for now. But yeah, Amazon, I think you just got to watch this level, man. If it gains acceptance back in, like a sweep of this high, and this ends up being just a fake breakout, or just a slightly higher high, that could be a macro high. So that could be something to watch. Otherwise, maybe it just rips. Maybe this thing actually does what I think it could do. Bullish scenario, this is just like a giant ascending triangle, and this thing just runs up to like 340. You see what I mean? Like this little pattern here. How it's been boom. Like kind of doing that. So just throwing out the bullish and the bearish, I guess, right? So there's your levels on Amazon. Google, yes, that's the one. Yes, that was the one we were looking at yesterday in the Discord, and we were looking at it on the live. I just blanked out, to be honest with you. Yeah, this is a big one. There's another big one. So like we're talking about all the big ones to watch this week, guys. You got earnings on a lot of big stocks, and a lot of them are approaching highs, approaching new all-time highs, or just flirting with breaking out or, you know, losing a level. So they're in interesting spots. This one is as well. Like, look, Google's sitting at 348, just above the previous high. You know, I'm looking for a scenario where we just continue to pump into the earnings on Wednesday, even if we go up higher. And the minute we drop down and lose this high at 348, I'm looking for the back test confirmation to take this down. There is a world where this thing just keeps running up, right? It just does whatever it does. And that's fine, but I'm looking for something. Even if it comes up, I'm looking for break back down, acceptance back below, and then catch that lower high. That's the way I like to trade. You know, false breakouts, they're some of the best entries you can get. And you know, sometimes they do grab liquidity because look, think about all the stop losses that have been stacked up here from people who've been shorting this down. So we'll see. Meta. Yeah, we got Meta too. I'm going to look at Microsoft and Meta now. Guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow. You help out the channel, and we go live 6 days a week. And if you're looking to become a trader and you want to learn how to trade, go over to tacticalhedgetraders.com. Free courses teach you everything you need to know, including psychology, technicals, all the fun stuff, risk management. And you can also check out our Discord at that website. Hit that join Discord, verify, and then be part of a real group of traders. Anyways, let me go look at Microsoft. I'm going to, Kaden, if you're still here, I got a bone to pick with you later, by the way. Yeah, NFOMC on Wednesday, yeah. So, Kaden, when I was yelling at you earlier for, you know, trying to trick me about my volume, I got flagged for harassment and bullying on TikTok, buddy. So they're limiting the stream over there. I hope you're happy. Apparently I'm you know what's even funnier is like you're a Gen Zer, so it's kind of it's more ironic because it's like you would be the one to make a complaint from somebody. Someone was triggered, exactly. I gotta be careful, guys. I don't want to trigger anybody. All right, so Microsoft, serious faced, right? We broke that high here around 411. We're flirting with this. We're flirting with coming back into this gap here around 438, and I think ultimately we're going to get there. The question is, do we pull back from here, right, first, or do we continue up? So we're getting pretty close. Starting to look a little head and shouldery, right? But we've seen this pattern fail a couple times on a few assets today. So I'd be really weary. But this wick here is also like, man, it's like if this thing does start to roll over, this wick is going to be easy target. But for now, if you go to a lower time frame, it's still in a little bit of an uptrend. So if at any point it starts to roll over, look for that wick, that wick to be a good target. And a little bit lower than that on Microsoft, you could probably look down here at this level here is probably the 618, somewhere in that area too. Yeah, look at that. So I would say if you lose this 404 area, if you do come down here and lose 404, which is the 382. And look, this is a great buying area. If you're buying, like if you're like trading, like swing trading, this is an area of like, if you start to bounce in that 382 Fibonacci pool area, that's a show of bullishness, you know, in that asset. So I'm not sitting there saying go shorter or anything like that, but if it does drop down, this is an area to target, and this is an area to target here, the 384. And I think you're coming up towards this gap here ultimately on Microsoft, right? This is an easy target to fill, but like I said with that other one we were looking at before, when it hits the gap, and we were like a little bit earlier, we were looking at a different coin that went into a gap and it started to fade. There may be an initial rejection or sell-off because this is going to act as resistance. So just be mindful of that. But if you do gain acceptance back above 440, you know, you could make your way back up into, I'd say back up here. Let me get rid of this line real quick. That's old TA. I'd say you make your way back up to 480. So, you know, maybe you get a little rejection, pull back, and then bang. You know, something like that. But this is going to be real big resistance up here. This 490, 500, like, that's going to be a tough area to crack. So, we'll see. That's Microsoft. Not tomorrow, Wednesday. Yeah, big day. Wednesday is a big day. Wednesday is a big day in the markets for sure. I'm reporting these. You can't. Well, at least you're on YouTube writing that, Caden. Because if you wrote that on TikTok, I might get in trouble. I think they have AI over there reading the chat. FSLR. Let me go see what that is. First Solar. Okay. So, I mean, look. It's a very trendy type of chart, right? Where it doesn't spend a lot of time going sideways. It seems to kind of find its top and then make its way down to its bottom, get its little accumulation, then it gets its run up, and then it makes its way down, makes it, you know. So right now, I would say it's more range bound than it is like in an like overall uptrend, but like on a lower time frame or like a daily, I mean, yeah, the trend right now is down. So the trend is down until this is really broken. But what are you doing? You are trying to formulate potentially a bottom here, right? You got 1, 2, 3 lows, potentially a triple bottom, little head and shoulders. I think where does this get confirmed is when you break this high here at 200, 205. Take this out, take this trend out, and this thing has a shot. I'd say the first area I would watch is this gap we left behind. Look at this big gap right here. That's easy target, right, for like, you know, for market makers to want to run up. And you see we rejected initially off trying to get into there. So if it does break this level here around like this 200, you got a good shot at making your way into this gap that could take you up to 238, back up to this high here. So, but inversely, look, this is a range at the end of the day. I'm going to get rid of all of this. If this decides it wants it, it's not going to break out to the upside, right? And it just happens to be, we're just getting rejected on this trend here. Well, there's only one other place it can go, and that's down. So where would it necessarily go? There's some levels. I would say I'd say it could just continue a downtrend until it gets down to this bigger level down here. That's the sad truth here. So it's got a shot here to break out, but it's got to prove itself first. Otherwise, the trend is down, and if it doesn't, my you know, sentiment starts to kind of think that down here, 150-ish, 140. So that's FSLR. Hopefully I didn't hurt anybody's feelings with that. Thanks for checking Tesla and AMD. Yeah, no problem, Hemnith. Yeah, let me go look at HGraph for Killian. I mean, it's been up for a while, dude. I mean, it just, like, it's been sideways, then up, sideways, then up. So what's it doing now? It just went up. So I expect some sideways, and that's what it's been doing. So establish the range. After the big impulse down, what was the first low that it established, right? Right here. Where was the high? Right here. So that's your range. That's where you're trading in between. But notice what price action did on that last low. It took out the previous low. So it took that liquidity. Usually when you take liquidity from one side, you're going for liquidity on the other side. Right now, what it's doing, you had that impulse up on like a lower time frame, like that 4 hour, and you're bull flagging. So this thing is probably going to make its way up to the top of that range. I'd say maybe higher. We'll see. See that little flag it's breaking out of? So yeah, you got a good shot of getting back up to 632 here if this keeps up. Money flow looks good. Let me go look at volume real quick. Let me look at it on the daily first. Daily looks great. Look at that. You got a trigger wave after an anchor. That's a good setup, man. This thing might rip. And if it does play out the full move of the bull flag, right? I'm just going to give you some hopium here. Could run all the way back up to $7. Why $7 is significant? Well, it's like right into that golden pocket retracement, right? Where are we getting hung up now at the 382? So normally after you get these big impulses down, you do get retracements up. So this would be a good area to target if it does actually play out that full move somewhere in that area. So, yeah, that's H-graph. You got a little bit of local support underneath at around $5, 490. And if you lose that low, then you're going to continue to make your way down back to the bottom of the range. So just be mindful of that. But right now it looks good. I did. Ben, you missed it. We went over Apple. We went over Microsoft, Google. There's a few we went over that I think. What else did we look at? We looked at a few of them. Yeah, Google, a bunch of them. MU, we can go look at MU. Yeah, man. There's some good setups going into earnings, man. A lot of these things are running up hard. Whew, look at Micron. Look who drew this. Look at those squigglies right there. So there's your scenarios. It was either rejection, come back down to 366, or it breaks out, holds the line and breaks out. And that's what it did. So we can get rid of the predictions. I'd say this thing's up till it's not, man. You got a clean trend here, right? Pretty clean trend. Stays above that thing, dude. Just you're good. It's gonna have pullbacks. Until you start to see market structure shift on like maybe a 4 hour, then I wouldn't really get too worried. This is the monthly trend. If you've gone over every stock we've gone over, including crypto, they all have they have a trend starting from the beginning of the month. And if you follow those trends, you know, you're good. You've been doing good so far trading. So yeah, this is a good level, man. I would say you're going to watch two things. You're going to watch this high here, that previous high at 479 and to the downside. And you're going to watch this trend here. That's what's going to keep you bullish. You start breaking down below that, then I'd say you're going to gain acceptance potentially back into the previous range, and you might run down to that 364. See the old range here? So the idea is to stay above that. You don't want to get back in there. But yeah, looks good. I mean, I don't know where it's going to go. I wish I could tell you. This thing, if this is a bull flag, I'll get rid of all my TA here. If this is a bull flag, this thing could really run. I'm just going to do this for just for chuckles. Could you imagine if this thing runs up to 650? Not saying it is. But anyway, it does look strong. Yeah, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow. You help out the channel. We go live 6 days a week. Myself and Ben, he does a morning show. I do a more evening chill and chart type of trade session. And yeah, you'll get notifications. That way you can jump in. If you got tickers and that you want to throw in the chat when I'm live, you can do that, and we'll take a look at your chart. Non-financial advice. Also, guys, if anybody's here looking to become a trader or has been thinking about it or this stuff interests them, go check out tacticaltraders.com. We got free courses over there. Ben put them together. I'm telling you, there's thousands of dollars in value within the free courses that he gave. It's all free. It's not like we're going to stop halfway through and gatekeep the rest. No, it's all out there for free. And You have access to the Discord over at tacticaledgetraders.com. And if you want to join a group of real traders, ask questions, just be around, maybe just be a fly on the wall and learn from others, then that's the place to be. Yeah, Kush put it in the chat over in TikTok if you guys are watching over there. What's up, Alex? Haven't seen you in a while, dude. Haven't seen you in a while. How you been? Hopefully good. Anyways, what else you guys want to look at? Somebody keeps saying Archrock. I asked for the ticker. What's the ticker, dude? Oh, A-Rock. I'm going to tell you the same thing I said about the last couple. I mean, it's up till it's not, dude. I mean, this thing has just been up. Let me go look at the monthly real fast. I got to get some... I mean, all right. Well, at least you got some levels above to look at. This gives me something to TA for you, right? Better than just something in price discovery. So I appreciate you for that one. Okay. So that's your monthly level. Let's go see if that's a weekly level. We're going to scroll over real quick. Got to do a little bit of homework. Yup, that's the breakdown, right? So when market structure shifted on the weekly, this is where it happened. That was the market structure shift. So that's going to be the high to break if this thing, that's probably the target if it's going to continue to move up. Not saying it's going to go that high, but what has it been doing? It's been uptrending, right? And as long as we're in an uptrend, there's no really fading this. So could it have pullbacks? Yes. So, but right now, what am I seeing? Well, I got to be honest. It looks like it's flagging out, and it looks like it just broke out. So I'd say it's going to probably go take this high out. I mean, look at that. I mean, if this continues up, that's probably where it's headed. So I'd say $47. As crazy as that sounds, it may be heading up there. How does it get invalidated? Look, I mean, at the end of the day, if it starts to break this low here, this is an established weekly low and a daily low. If it takes out this low here around 34, it could gap down pretty hard because this is a fast move up. So this low is going to be like the floodgates. So, but I mean, it just looks like it just reaccumulated. You see this, like, it put in that low here, it swept that low, and then it put in a higher low, and it looks like it's ready to go. So it's up against a wall right now, but if it rips, it's going to go hard, I think. But what about iron? Oh, I can go look at iron. I haven't looked at iron in a while. Well, I'm still looking for a bounce, I guess, right? Let me see really what's going on here. I'm going to go fresh TA, fresh eyes. Sorry, I'm going to have to sneeze again, dude. Oh, my God. Allergies are kicking my ass today. Excuse my language, guys. Hopefully I don't get flagged for that. It's still in the prove it stage for me. So there's a chance that this is a breakout here, right, on a higher time frame. But it still has to prove it. And how does it prove it? So even if we just take this trend away, right, and just look at it from a level standpoint, it's sitting above resistance. And it's trying to establish that resistance as support. But it hasn't really proven it yet on the daily. So if this level starts to break down, then you're going to probably take back a lot of this. So the key here is to hold above this 47 if it wants to stay bullish. If it can, and it can establish support there, the next logical place for it to go is up to here around 64 bucks on a daily level. So it's really big to see what happens here. Can it deviate below? Sure. But you really ideally don't want to give up this level. So the bulls need to step in here and hold this. They've done a lot of work. You could see the bears are already kind of doing their thing. You could see the bearish diversion starting to form. So it's very crucial. If it starts to lose this, it could just be could be a super liquidity. And then they're just going to come back down and take out some of this below. And what has the trend been? The trend has been down on this thing. See what I mean? Like that's my fear here. If it loses that, then this could be the next step. That's what it's been doing. But if it can hold here, then maybe there's a chance. So we'll see. That's iron. This one's a volatile one, though, man. This one's tough to track. I'll go look at BB real quick. For sure. Blackberry. I looked at this yesterday. So look, you're entering the gap, man. Or you're into resistance. You're in resistance right now. But I said this yesterday, and my analysis hasn't changed at all. If it breaks this high, if it can get through this $5-6 resistance, this thing could run back up. And why do I say that? Because on a higher time frame, what is it trying to do? It's trying to gain acceptance. Just drag this box over. It's trying to gain acceptance back into this previous range right here. So if it can get back above that, it'll claim it can gain acceptance and potentially even run back up to 12 bucks. And that would just be nothing more than a deviation. What evidence do we have to support that's even bullish here? Well, the only thing I got is this pattern. I got the head and shoulders forming. And we keep hitting the same level. Eventually, if this breaks, that's the neckline. This thing could run hard. And if it gets rejected here, then guess what? That's your support that you have to hold, $3. So support's far away. That's the big thing. So I wouldn't go long into here. I'd wait for it to gain acceptance back above $6 and then maybe get a little ride up to 10, 12 bucks, depending. And I would say, as far as I'm going to get rid of all the TA here. Let's go to get my volume real quick. So what you want to see volume start to do, you want to see volume start to break up. Take out this high, and that's going to be a good front runner. So volume needs to start kicking in on the weekly. Momentum's on your side. Money flow's on your side on the daily. Could get a little pullback, but yeah, let's see what happens. Trying to find support locally here on the daily. I would say locally, but on the daily, right around $5. So if you can hold this $5 and get past this $6 zone, I think you got this. It's gonna run up. So we'll see. That's Blackberry. Yeah, I'll go look at SOXL. I feel like I do this one a lot. This is another one that just broke out, man. When it took off from here, it just ran, and I don't know where it's gonna go, dude. I mean, this thing could just run up. I mean, look what it broke out of. That's like a 5-year long high that keeps hitting, and it finally broke it. So, I mean, I wouldn't go long in it here. It's probably very close to, and maybe it runs more, but, it's definitely way overextended, I would say. So maybe track that trend, and you start to lose that trend. That could be an early indicator of, like, it's coming back down to retest these highs at $70, because that's the only low I see on any higher time frame, or the 4-hour. That's the closest support you have. So it's a dangerous long to be in right now. That's what I'll say. But yeah, I don't know where it's going to go, but it's up till it's not. By the way, guys, if you're new to the channel, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow. You help out the channel. You get notifications when we go live 6 days a week. Also, check out tacticalhedgetraders.com. Check out the free courses we have there to teach you how to trade, teach you about trading psychology, risk management, TA, all that stuff. And then you can go join a free Discord and be part of a real group of traders or a trading community. And, yeah, we'd be happy to have you. Go check us out. AVGO. Yeah, I can go check that out. Same scenario, man. This thing's at an all-time high. Get rid of my LARP lines because it just kept going up. Continued the bullish scenario. So it's at a big point here, right? Go to your weekly. There's nothing above this level. So it's either going to continue up or it's going to get a pullback here. I think if you start to gain acceptance back below 416 and you can't get back above that, this may have just been a double top. So it's at make or break right now. Like, what's it going to do? But, the trend's still up, man. It's still up. You know what I mean? Like, as long as it's up, we got to just kind of respect the trend. So we'll see. If it gains acceptance back below this level, 416, and it loses this trend, First target's probably going to be down here. There's a little bit of a gap we left behind. Gotta adjust this. We took that gap. That's an old gap from old TA, but there's a little bit of a gap down here we could take. That's one area we could revisit. So that's the short scenario. Otherwise, it's up till it's not, man. That's AVGO. How long have I been trading? A little over 6 years now, dude. Since I started my trading journey. Not all profitable years, by the way. It took me a while to become profitable. And I have my losing streaks, just like everything, man. You have good days, bad days, good weeks, bad weeks. Sometimes you have bad months. So the idea is just to be, you know, when things are rough, to just kind of dial back on the amount of money you're using in your trades, the size of your trades, and keep that risk management tight and play defensive. And then when the market gives you easier conditions to trade in, you can just, that's when you can kind of, you know, hit the gas a little bit. I've done Google already. How long? By the way, guys, if you spam your thing in the chat, I'm not gonna respond to you. It's really annoying when people do that. Just write it one time and I'll get to it. Because if you spam it, it makes me hard to see everybody else's requests. I get that's by design, but it makes it annoying. GT. Oh, man. Goodyear's not doing too good, is it? It's been down for a while, dude. You're fighting to get back above this local level right here. I guess the key for you is getting back above 750. If you can get back above 750, you got to shot back up here towards this $10 area. But that's what you got to get back into this old range here, man. So gain acceptance back into this, and then you got to shot back up into these areas up here. So otherwise, it's going to continue down. If it rejects here, your next level to the downside's this wick, man, down at $4. So those are your levels on Goodyear. But I'll say this, it's getting tight here. It looks like it's gearing up for a move. So you see how it's starting to consolidate tight? When you start to see this, it's usually telling you a move's getting ready to happen. These falling wedges, especially with like a double bottom scenario or a higher low, they tend to have explosive moves. Not saying that's going to happen, but there's a chance. But I imagine tires are going down too because oil prices are going up, right? You need oil to make tires, rubber. All right, so ServiceNow. Man, we're struggling to get back above that level. Look, it's down till it's not. Right now, the big support you got is $69, right? Funding 69. You're trying to establish a low here, but it's not the strongest low. So it hasn't really proven itself. It's got to get, for me, it's got to get back above the $100 level, man, for me to start flipping market, you know, for it to even flip market structure on the daily, it's got to get back above 105. So get back above 105, 100 to 105, and then we can start talking bullish. Otherwise, I think it's going to continue down to 68. But this is the level to break right here. This is your level to break right there. Crack that. You could have a nice move up. And then you could start taking out the highs at 120, 130, potentially even up higher than that. Maybe even up to this level here, 140. So that's the key level to get back above 100 to 105. Otherwise, I see downside to 69. That is ServiceNow. It's not, and it's not to be a dick to anybody that if I ignore your thing. It's just that when you spam it, like I said, it makes it hard to see a lot of people's other people's tickers. So I end up missing people's tickers, and then, you know what I mean? If you just write it once, I'll get to it. You know, I go in order for the most part, or at least I try. And if it's been a while, then yeah, go ahead, write it again. That's fine. Like, I'll see it maybe later in the chat. But yeah, guys, hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow. We go live 6 days a week. Myself and Ben. Ben does a morning show before New York Open, and I do an evening, more of a chill and trade TA where you can drop your tickers in the chat. If you want to learn how to trade, if you're interested in learning how to manage risk, understand market psychology, go over to tacticaledgetraders.com. Ben put together some awesome courses for you for free. And you can also join the Discord from that website, tacticaledgetraders.com. Be part of a real group of traders. We trade live Monday through Friday together. They were trading this morning, New York. I think some people caught some good moves, some nice shorts off that initial, SFP. So, yeah, it's all there if you guys want to check us out, tacticaledgetraders.com. You asked for snow? Yeah, I know, Chuck. I got you, brother. Somebody else asked for now earlier, man. I got you, dude. You guys got to chill out a little bit. I'm only one person. You got a double bottom scenario here, right? On snow. Double bottom potential, right? Is this the bottom, though? And it actually swept. If you look at it, right? It took that low out. So this is a good sign for a potential low. Now, here's where this is where I really get bullish. If it takes this trend out. See that? Look at that. So it's got bottoming signs going on here. I'm going to go see if there's any divergence for you. Nothing on the daily yet. The weekly's starting to show a little bit of bullish divergence. So the weekly's there, but the daily may need to reset first. If the daily curves back up, that could be an explosive move. 4 hour looks primed. It's got hidden bullish divergence starting to form. No, that's not hidden bullish. I take that back. It's not there just yet. It's almost there, though. It's got to come down a little bit more, I think, first. But yeah, man, this thing looks primed. I think the big level for you, really, you got to get back above here. Get back above that trend. Get back above this high here. And I think this thing has got a shot to the upside. So get back above 144. Otherwise, if you're below this trend, you got to expect that you're going to continue to head down. And the support right now is 120. So it's between 144 is your 144, 155 is your, well, you're at 144. I'm sorry, 155 is your resistance. Your support is 120. So I'll be watching those levels, man. If it breaks out of that thing, dude, this thing could run hard. Your first big level is going to be up here at 180. And then if you break that, man, it's got a shot back up above 200. It can go hard. Some of these bounces have been nice from this level. You can see going in the past, every time it's gotten down to this level, it's had very good bounces. So just drag that line right over. See that? So this is where I'd be looking for longs. Yeah. Are you Jewish? No, I'm not Jewish, dude. What kind of question is that? Are you Jewish? SMH, I can go look at some SMH. I mean, look, dude, it's up. It's up. This is the scenario. This was the do or die line we talked about, right? And a while back, and it held that line and it broke the highs and it's up. So it's up till it's not. I mean, look, same scenario with everything else. It's got that monthly trend, man. Start from the beginning of the month, run the trend up. As long as it's above that trend, it's bullish. If you want to level, if it does break that trend, the first level you're going to watch is the previous high. You're looking down at 427 if it does lose this trend. Otherwise, it's up, dude. So I don't really got too much on this one. There are some levels to the downside. It could come down and fill locally this 485 to 490 because there's a little bit of a CME gap here on the daily. So potentially it has a small, intraday pullback, but as long as it's above the trend, that's the play. So maybe you get a dip down into this area. Anyways, let me go look at Cypher. I think I looked at Cypher, did I? No, I didn't look at that. Yeah, Cypher looks like, okay, so here's the scenario here. It's rolling over because it hit this high here. Right? It took the liquidity here. So if it's gonna hold, it's gotta put in a higher low. This is the zone you gotta like pretty much hold. You're gonna come back down into this area here between like 15, 16 bucks, and you really want to hold there. If you start to go lower than that, then you threaten going for the low at 12 bucks, which you don't want to do. So put that higher low in, and then maybe you can attack a little higher. But right now you're up against resistance around this 20 bucks, and we knew $20 was going to be strong resistance. It's a weekly level, it's a daily level, and there was a nice consolidation breakout. So a pullback from here is not the craziest thing. You could realistically come back down and still remain bullish. So we'll see what happens here. Otherwise, this technically is a lower high because it swept. No, it's a double top at this high right here. But anyway, that's Cypher. Guys, I got like 1 or 2 more tickers in me, then I think I'm going to jump. I'm like mentally taxed for the day, so I can only look at so many charts. So I'm going to go look at Lin, and then I got 1 more in there. So same scenario here, dude. You broke the all-time high. All right. Let me just look back, see if there's anything on LIN. You're above the all-time high and you're consolidating. Look, man, that's a good sign. This thing looks like it's about to have another push. I don't know how high it'll go, but it looks like it's about to push again. Support is 485. Lose that support, lose this low around 473, then things get bearish. But above this, it looks good. Thanks, Kush. Kush is doing awesome, by the way. Appreciate you, brother. Yeah, let me go look at SoFi. What's up, Freeman? I'm going to go look at SoFi, then RSP, and then I'm going to jump, guys, all right? Those are my last 2. It's been about an hour, and my brain's about to explode. Look, it's higher lows and higher highs. We said this could be a weekly low, and how does it prove itself? Get back above this level here, man. Get back above this $20 level, and you got a good shot back up to 25. And what are you doing right now? You're consolidating, right? You're trying to put in potentially what looks like a little bit of a bull flag, right? So if this thing decides it's going to run, it's going to run. And if it breaks this level off this flag, I mean, this thing could run back up to 23, 25 bucks. Measured move on this flag. I'll show you right here. 23, 25 bucks. Yep, right up to this previous high up here. So right where this low was on that previous range, that's the target. Makes sense to me. Could get up there, guys. That's SoFi. If you lose that low at 18 bucks, it could drop down because the next low sits all the way down here on $16. So just be mindful of that. And RSP. Looks double toppy, but it hasn't taken the highs yet, so we'll see. Can I put that higher low in here? It's still holding trend, but barely. No, actually, I think it broke the trend. So here's the April trend. It lost the trend. It's one of the only ones we've seen so far that lost trend. So my thing is here, look, if it can't take this high out that it put in around 205, anything below that is a lower high. So this is postured bearishly. I'd say if you start to take this wick out, you're expecting price to make its way back down to 198, potentially 195. This area here is the first target. So otherwise, resistance is up at 205 on RSP. Anyways, guys, that's it for me. My name's Eddie. I am a trader over at Tactical Edge Trading. You check us out, tacticaledgetraders.com. We got free courses of Discord you can join. Join a real Discord full of real Discord full of real traders. We do live trading. We do group thinks. We do events. I do a See Me Open on Sundays where we do weekly game planning for swing traders, people with jobs, that kind of stuff. So we cater to all styles, all levels of trading. So check us out, tacticaledgetraders.com. And go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow. It says thank you to us for showing up and doing TA for you guys. And also you'll get notifications when we go live so you can get the notifications, jump on, get your tickers out there, and then, be on your merry way. Anyway, you guys, have a good night, and I appreciate y'all for showing up. Thank you.